This episode has been sponsored by Ryan's Farmers Market. Okay. Welcome back. You're watching Scene TV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host, Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. And next on our show, I'd like to welcome Leah Slocum. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I am so excited for you. You've just been nominated for the Lymphoma Society, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, as Women of the Year. That's a complete honor. But yet, really, before we dive right in, honestly, it's probably something that's really dear to your heart that's actually you've put aside your real estate business so that you can focus on this 1,000%.
Yes, absolutely. It's actually a 10-week kind of a competition, but also you're nominated. It's a fundraising campaign where each dollar you raise goes towards one vote. So it's the person who raises the most money, both one woman and one man, Woman and Man of the Year.
Okay.
They end up winning the competition. It all goes to the same cause. And I actually got involved in it originally because my grandmother passed away last year from leukemia. But in that you meet all kinds of interesting people. You do it in honor of a little boy and little girl who have stole my heart and definitely have, made me commit to it 110%.
Absolutely. Tell us about your grandmother and how you actually, were you always familiar with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, or did this something that you've let to learn about because, cancer is coming in different stages and different phases, and there's so many different types. So how did you know to really kind of be there for her, and how did it change your life?
I think I just started looking into it. I've always worked with a lot of different charities just through my business. In real estate, I prefer to put money into a charity and be seen at an event rather than put a billboard out there. I just thought the money was going to something much more useful. So I've worked with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society for a while. I'm on their committee for their Taste of Compassion, their wine tasting, and some different events that they do. And when my grandmother first got sick, it prompted me just to become more involved in it.
So you became more active?
I did actually. 3 years ago, I ran a full marathon in San Diego when she was first diagnosed in her honor. And had never run anything in my life, had not run a 5K. So I don't recommend a full marathon as your first run, but I did complete it. I couldn't walk for 2 weeks afterwards, but it was an amazing experience, and it was really, really good. And it's such an amazing organization, both locally and then nationwide. I got to see firsthand when I was in San Diego, so it really was kind of unbelievable.
Yeah. It's very funny, marathons too. I feel that how when you run them, I'm not really a great runner either, and I definitely try, but it's almost like if you can do it, you can accomplish anything. You're really setting the bar so high for yourself and attaining something. And I always think that how, if you write something down, if it's written, it's definitely real that you're going to get it done.
I had to raise money to run, and I was like, well, I can't let people down. I have to run now. I have to show up. So I'm like, this is real.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like this being a real cause and stuff, well, tell me a little bit about the two kids, I guess, that you've sponsored. So there's Dante, and he's from Shenandoah?
He's from Shelmont.
Or Shelmont? Okay.
Yep, he's from Shelmont. He is 15 years old. So an amazing, amazing kid. He's 6'2". He started for Shelmont varsity football when he was a freshman. Big kid, just a lovable, lovable kid. And he has such an amazing spirit, him and his mother. No matter what's gotten them down, he just seems to look on the bright side. And he was someone who just really definitely captured me into this and made me want to be more and more integrated. And then little Lexi she's 4 years old, and she's adorable. She's your typical, likes tea parties and tutus and all kinds of stuff. And again, her family is so unbelievably motivating, and you can't believe after you hear everything that they've been through how positive they truly are.
Yeah. How's this changed you as a person with your character? Because you're already out there, you're involved with so many businesses and organizations. How does this really impact you?
I think it's made me realize just how amazingly giving our community is in the Capital Region. I mean, I've reached out to all kinds of people in terms of fundraising campaigns. I've actually we took Dante shopping this past weekend, I was mentioning to you, and I just walked around the mall and I stopped at stores and said, hey, I have this boy, I'm going to be taking him shopping. I was picking up the tab on the rest of the items, and I said, if there's any coupons you have or anything you can offer, every single store offered to help, without a doubt. On the same aspect, I have customers that had moved here from Ohio, and they've become good friends, and the one daughter who is a senior at Bethlehem has taken on her goal to personally raise $5,000 for us. And she has walked door to door. She has sold bracelets. She's doing an event at 16 Handles where they're donating all of the proceeds back to our campaign. And just personally kind of spearheaded all kinds of different fundraising things just because she felt this connection.
What's the goal that you're trying to reach for your fundraising?
My personal goal is $50,000 in 10 weeks. So we are already 4 weeks into it. So we're about halfway there. So it is definitely, it's a lofty goal. Last year's winner raised $75,000. So it's definitely something that could be done. Usually reach out to a lot of different corporate donors. That's where most of the funds come, but we also do some really good fundraising events and things to get the community involved, and I think it also raises awareness for it as well. But personally, I chose $50,000. With that, when I signed on to do this, I learned that $50,000 would pay for a research grant. And you not only meet the scientists, but you can have your name put on this grant. And it's something that you know is actually going towards cancer awareness and research and stuff. And originally I had planned on putting my grandmother's name on it, but after meeting Dante and Lexi and becoming so involved in them, I actually want to put their name on the grant. So that's my $50,000 goal.
That's awesome. And now each dollar that you collect is it's 100% that goes towards that goal.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep. 100%.
Okay. All right. So tell us about some of the sponsorships, and also I love the name that you came up with, Stilettos for a Cure.
Yep.
So I love the red shoes and seeing them everywhere. Very cool. It also reminds me of like the red dress, so it's like really empowering. Very cool. So tell us about the corporate sponsors and how they can get in touch with you.
They can go to our website, stilettosforacure.com. My contact info is on there. I've sent out all kinds of different marketing pieces to people all over the Capital Region. I have a great campaign committee that has helped me kind of reach out to as many people as possible. But you can contact us, and there's all different levels. There's things from $250, which will also get you an ad in the grand finale that Leukemia and Lymphoma Society does in their program booklet, to $500 up to $10,000 for a presenting sponsor, which is an exclusive sponsorship.
Excellent. When is the deadline for all this?
You have to, for some of the ads, for the photo ads, they have to be in by April 12th. But if you're not worrying about an ad to go into the campaign, all money has to be collected by May 7th.
Okay.
So in the grand finale is May 9th.
Okay, and where are you having it?
It's going to be at the Troy Hilton Garden Inn.
Okay, the Troy Hilton Garden Inn.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a good party.
Yeah. All right, well, it's raising money for a cure, so that's a cool idea. What has been some of the obstacles that you have had to overcome with soliciting for money to help your cause?
I mean, some of the things are just because of the nature of my business. I have great relationships with people, but you're always worried about, asking them for money. So this was one thing that I said, no fear, I'm going to just ask everybody, which has been amazing. The other thing is you also have 20 other people in the Capital Region that are trying to do the same thing, so you don't want to step on anybody's toes either. We're all working for the same organization.
Yeah,
and
even though it's a competition, right? It's definitely,
it's
the ultimate goal is to raise money to find a cure and raise awareness.
And it's all for the same thing. It's the money's all going to the same place. So we do support each other's events. All of the candidates have been amazing. We actually have our midpoint coming up, so I'm excited to see people. And a lot of the candidates are people that I personally know. So that we have worked together and kind of support each other in the journey.
Great. Where are you at right now? How much have you collected?
I can't say.
Okay.
Because everything has to stay top secret
until the very
because
it's a competition. That's
right. It's
a
competition, so you're not supposed to reveal. We're getting there. I've got a lot of donors that have said they're pledging, so I just have to wait till the ink dries on the checks.
Okay.
But we're definitely getting there, but we still have a very, very long way to go.
Right.
So
absolutely. So, tell us about your committee that you formed to help you raise awareness and funds.
I tried to reach out. I've been involved with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, so I wanted to embrace some people that didn't know too much about it. I was overwhelmed by the amount of people that actually said, hey, we want to help. People from past candidates, Sabrina Mousseau actually won Woman of the Year a few years ago when she ran. She runs the Samaritan Cancer Hospital, so she's my campaign manager. Some individuals that I'd worked on other charities with, but I have a campaign committee of 15 people. So they're amazing. And when I looked at most of them, they are predominantly women, and we do like shoes. So that's where we kind of came up with Stilettos for a Cure. We wanted to brand ourselves and make it a little bit different. And do some marketing things that were kind of a little bit more memorable.
It's very unique.
So that's kind of where we came from. But each of the campaign members, I mean, they're from all different walks of life, down to, Katie Hutchinson, who is a senior at Bethlehem High School.
Okay. Tell us about these red shoes. I love them. I'll take an 8.
You're taking it. These are our Stilettos for a Cure. This is going out to some of our higher donors. I actually, for all of our marketing materials, I mailed out a lot. But for people that I was really asking for a large amount of money, I wanted to do something to really grab them. So I actually mailed them out a shoe. So I think there's about 50 of these going out in the capital region now. I have some people that said they would like more. I will buy more red shoes if I have to. But they go out in a little fun box, and the whole catch is, now that we have our foot in the door, we want to talk to you about something that's very important.
Yeah, great.
So that was kind of what we came up with, and they were cute little shoes. Who can't read a package after you receive a little red shoe in the mail? So.
I love it. It's very cute, very original as well. Stilettos for a Cure, and it's stilettosforacure.com if you want to find out more information. So, Leah, tell me something. When you were a little girl, did you have any friends or anyone? Because these kids are really young. And did you know anybody in school when you were young, like Dante is, or the other little girl, Lexi is younger. But did you know anybody back then?
I didn't know anyone firsthand, or not that I think I realized at the time. I do, when I was in 4th grade, I was very ill, where doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. So I spent some time in the hospital. I just remember my parents going through all kinds of craziness because I would pass out, I'd stop breathing. I still don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know. But I saw how difficult that was for them, and I can only imagine on this grander scale what it would be. So, but I've always had kind of a love for children and a soft spot for them. So when I see them going through these things and how brave and strong these kids are, it's absolutely amazing.
So let's talk about Dante. He is with Make-A-Wish now?
He was granted a Make-A-Wish.
Okay.
So he is actually going to be going to Italy. I think he leaves April 15th, 16th, something around there, for a couple of weeks. And that was what he wanted for his Make-A-Wish. So his family's going there for a week.
Awesome. And how about Lexi?
Lexi is, she actually is in her maintenance phase, but she's a little spitfire. She's such a little cutie. She kind of, when I thought about the Stilettos for a Cure campaign, one of my favorite quotes is, give the girl the right shoes and she can conquer the world. And that's Lexi. I mean, she actually has, I have a picture of her in a pair of my red stiletto shoes, and she's like walking around as happy as can be.
Yeah, how fun. Yeah. So tell us about your office and about Realty USA and how they've actually played a key role in helping you to distribute some of the marketing material.
They've been amazing. My secretary at our office and my manager have been great, because I have kept her busy sending out 400 packets of material and copies and mailings and stuff that have gone out. So they've really been very supportive on that aspect. They are doing some corporate sponsorship as well, but my office in general, the realtors there are so unbelievably kind. I mean, they're amazing. I have bracelets that were made up that we were selling, and people have taken them to other offices and tried to sell them. A lot of the realtors we had talked about, any listings they got, donating a portion of the commissions to the campaign as well. So I don't know if anybody's really mailed that off to their customers, but it is something that I personally pledged for any new listings I got, sending a portion of that back, and a lot of the other realtors.
You're
were
really
doing
tugging
well.
on my heartstrings. I want to my house so you can have.
I know. It's I go with the theme. We're relentless for a cure. So I'm really, especially because I'm doing it in the name of these 2 kids, and they're just so amazing and so inspiring, that I just I can't let them down.
And so you have some more events that are coming up, though, to help them, right, to raise some more money, so that it's 8 weeks, so it's really a short period of time to make this miracle of your $50,000 goal.
It is a full-time job, which is kind of why real estate, this is my busy time of year for work, but I knew I was going to set it aside just a little bit. I still am maintaining it, but just to really focus on this campaign. But Yeah, it is a full-time job. It's,
Yeah.
in the office until 2:00 in the morning, putting stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I have other people. Everybody has offered to help.
Mm-hmm.
People in my office, it looks like a shoe factory blew up in there sometimes. So thank God that they don't, don't get angry with me from that.
What are some of the events that you have that's not necessarily the big gala, but other events that you're hosting to raise awareness and money?
Yep, there's a couple of different ones, and we're still in the works on a couple of other ones as well. There is a fashion show that is next Sunday, April 6th, I think it is, which is called Trending for Fashion. That's actually put on by the Little Girl of the Year from last year. She started it. And it does benefit all the candidates. However many tickets I sell or who comes to support me, I get credit for them being there. And that goes towards the campaign. So it's $35 a ticket.
Okay.
And that Dante and Lexi, their families, their friends are all in this fashion show. And it's put on by Margaret at Some Girls Boutique. And she does an amazing job.
Yes,
She's got such a warm heart. So
Yeah.
so that should be fun. We also have Katie Hutchinson is doing at the Glenmont 16 Handles is going to be on Tuesday, April 6th. And April 8th. And that's going to be a proceed of anybody who wants to come and have frozen yogurt, which what a good reason to do it is going to come back to our campaign as well. I think I might even be there making balloon animals. We'll see how that works out.
Fun.
But so that should be fun. And then actually Angelo Mazzone is also participating on Wednesday the 9th. Sam Parker, who used to bartend and run the bar there, along with Jamie and Mary, who used to be in the front of the house. They were the core three who helped start 677 Prime with Angelo. They're all going back, and they're doing a happy hour party, and that's going to support the campaign as well. There'll be a special signature stiletto teeny that you can have, and we're going to have raffle tickets and stuff to sell, which is going to be there. And then we're also going to be doing, Greg Aidala has signed on to do a comedy show on April 17th. So we're still looking at the location on that. I have one of two places.
Okay.
So those are the events that are in the works. I'm hoping to do a stiletto stampede to get some men in some high-heeled shoes, maybe to run down the street and do kind of similar to the Santa Speedo run towards the end of the campaign, end of April or beginning of May. So we're working on that too.
Sounds like a great time. And you know what? What I love about your passion is that it's a serious cause, but you're having fun and you're raising awareness and you're letting people get involved at their level.
Yes.
So everyone can really have some skin in the game and really try to work cooperatively to build a team to be able to find a cure for the Lymphoma Society, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of you. That's really great.
Yeah. There's a way for everybody to help. I mean, every little bit helps. Every $1 donation, every $100 donation, every $1,000 donation, they all go to the same cause. So every little bit gets us there.
Absolutely. Well, Leah, I want to thank you so much for being on Scene TV and sharing your passion. You're an excellent realtor, so if anyone's looking for a realtor, Leah Slocum is here. And also, good luck for Woman of the Year with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and also to the Boy and Girl of the Year, Lexi and Dante. So it's a pleasure to have you.
All right. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks.
You're watching Scene TV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host, Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. And we're so excited today to have Greg Aidala in our studio, funny guy himself. Welcome, Greg.
Hey, thanks, Maya. How's it going?
Great to have you here.
Thanks. It's nice to be here. Thanks
oh my
for
God,
the
I'm so
invite.
excited about this show. Here, I'm talking over you.
No, you're not. It's fine. Just keep. I love this couch. It's soft. I love what you've done with the space too. Great.
I love the black
I
curtains.
love it. I love the Charlie
right.
Rose feel.
All right, so
Yes.
tell us.
So what's up? Why'd you have me here?
2001. I want to hear your story.
Yeah, 2001. I started stand-up. Always wanted, coming from a large Italian-Irish Catholic family, one of eight. There was always a very loving household, but there's always action, and my family's very funny. And so it was after college, and I saw an advertisement in a local paper to do it, and it's something I always wanted to try to do. And my first show was with Colin Quinn from Saturday Night Live in front of 400 people. And then it took off from there. And it's something I really enjoyed. I really liked having, come from a large family. It felt like everyone was in my living room, and it was like I was at home. And I like to do that with my showcase. I like everyone to feel comfortable, like they're in my living room. Such as this. Comfortable
fun.
hanging. Yeah. So it got going, and then in '03, I was out at a club, a comedy club, and I was hosting 5 shows a week at this club for 6 weeks. I got this gig, and a couple of the comedians said, you should try putting on shows because you're organized. I said, all right. So in '03, I approached bars in Albany, New York. I had friends that were managers, and we worked out a deal, and I started, comedians, headliners I met on the road. I started doing shows, and they started selling out. So I really wanted to form my own entertainment company, coming from a family business that's 71 years old this year in Albany. And so what I decided to do was form my entertainment company in '05. And then in 2006, I launched my showcase, the Brouhaha Comedy Showcase. And that last fall just surpassed the 10,000 person attendee mark. And then in '08, I started getting into TV and commercial work. So that's it in a nutshell, without boring everybody out there, you know what I mean?
No, you have a great story.
Yeah.
So, you've even been recognized by partially these 10,000 people. Best of 2007, best of 2008, best of 2009, best of 2010, best of 2011.
Yeah.
So you are one funny guy.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I never set out. I love hosting a show. I always wanted my own show. That was it. And I wanted to produce a show for a year, and I'm thankful that it's been 8. But I never set out to be the funniest person in the world, but humor is so important because of my life and growing up that I just love hosting the show and bringing everybody out. You know what I mean by that? It's just a fun time. You've been to the show.
Yeah,
I was so
love
thankful
this.
that it was great to see you.
Yeah, right in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
LT's Bar and Grill right on Niskayuna by ShopRite Plaza, which will be there again on May
17th.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend John Fish from The Late Show with David Letterman and Last Comic Standing, and Carmen Lynch from The Late Show with David Letterman and Last Comic Standing. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
looking
a lot
forward
of fun.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it again too. All right, so tell us about your family. Do
Yes.
you use them in your acts?
I do. I have to do my taxes. Excuse me. No, I don't. But you should, right? You utilize them. When you've got a family that, you've got a full basketball team with 3 subs, you utilize them the best you can. What's my story with them? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, well, where does
Oh, do
your
I use them
material
in their
come?
act?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually, my family is, my father's great. I mean, he's a huge supporter, and he's at the shows, and
Yeah.
everyone always asks about him first when they see me. No matter where I am, no matter what
Yeah,
city
the
I'm in,
pleasure
they're
of
like,
sitting
hey,
with
how's
him.
your
I think
father?
he's funnier than you.
Yeah, oh, he is. He's great. I've always said that. That's why I have a showcase with funny people I book. You know what I mean? There are some things that I talk about from childhood, and it's just light stuff. But it's lighthearted, but it meant a great deal to me growing up.
Where'd you grow up?
Where did I grow up? In a place called Loudonville, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just up the road.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, yeah. And just outside of Albany. And I'm one of 8 kids, and my mother had passed away of breast cancer in 1981, and my father raised us all and runs a family business. He's a Siena grad, and we're just painfully close and super tight. So it's humor that got us through that. I mean, it's and I don't think it's a bad thing. But when you get those giggles, like if you go to church and you get those giggles as a kid and you can't control, it was like that growing up. So whenever we hear like troubling news, the first thing to do is like chuckle, but not in a mean way,
right?
Because it's that reaction, and that's what I try to give with my showcase, because I really do that humor has a healing power. I really truly believe that.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm human too, and days can be terribly difficult like anybody else's, but you got to stay the course and laugh it off. So I'm blessed that way.
Yeah. What is the driving factor that makes people close to over 10,000 come to see you? What's special about you?
I honestly, truly believe I believe in my brand, and I mean what I say. And, my sponsors along the way who have supported the showcase over the 8 years, I'm passionate about what I do. I've been that way my whole life. I mean, that's just, growing up as, somewhat hyperactive, but and then as you
gotta
grow,
have energy.
Yeah, well, that's it. And then
you gotta
learn
be
how
alive
to,
for the audience.
Exactly, you learn how to channel it in different ways, and
Sure.
you balance your life. Like, I know what I can handle and what I can't, and that's just where it comes from, I guess. I don't know, does that answer your question or not?
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun here. What
Yeah.
have been some of your influences to say, I want to be a comedian. I want to be a professional in this field.
I always admired it. Like, growing up, we were always watching, even the Little Rascals and the Three Stooges and,
So you're a
and
little
Abbott and
prankster.
Costello. Yeah, but but I always loved vaudeville. I've said this in interviews before. I'm a vaudevillian at heart. Like, I love live performance. That's what I'm all about. And to get to a place to where I guess to circumvent back to your question about how do I get those people out, because of passion. And most of those 10,000 people have been in the Capital District of New York alone. Mm-hmm. And right now we're averaging 200 people a show in my main room. And I pride myself on that because you know what it is? I really care about everybody that comes out. Mm-hmm. I truly do. I always, to go back to, I want them to feel like they're in my living room. And that's how my house was growing up. It was open and come on in and, what can I get you to eat or drink? And I also take into mind that people have busy lives. I know what they're spending their money on. Mm-hmm. They're going to get out. Sometimes.
Yeah, your tickets are very affordable. They're only $15.
Yeah, because that's the going rate of clubs across the country, and I want to keep that standard and that fairness. And I know that some people, they're which I love talking with all different people, because sometimes it's like a high school reunion too.
Yeah.
I see people come out, that I haven't seen since high school. It's great. Some people come up and they say, we only get out, my wife and I, once a year or twice a year or 3 times, just because of if they're super pro and they've got their professionals and they got their kids, and I'm like, holy cow. And it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I take that.
I'd say there's some pressure here now.
I know. I'm like, yeah, right. Thanks, pal. Oh, man.
So
yeah.
let's talk about some other comedians.
Sure.
Maybe Jeff Foxworthy or Larry the Cable Guy.
I'm not really into. Totally respect all those guys. I think Foxworthy is great because how he started everything. It's not all that's my cup of tea. It's like
I think
not that
George
I don't.
Lopez is hilarious.
I think he's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, you think he's all right?
No, I mean, he's a funny guy. Well, he's a smart, funny guy. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't get to that point without being those two things. The first album I ever heard was vinyl album, Bob Newhart, The Button Down Mind. I still have it. It was my father's. And I have that sense of growing up. My grandfather came from Europe, so it was very old country way in this new America. And I love all those old guys. I got to meet with my father, I got to meet Bill Cosby.
Okay.
In 2009.
I still love Bill Cosby. Never missed a show.
It was great. He was such a nice guy. It was just we were 2 of 4 people in the room, and it was all set up, and it was just it was great. So those type of guys, that old school way of comedy is great. I like that. I think what's great is I think Jimmy Fallon's doing a great job.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's really reaching the audience too, keeping him engaged.
It's great. I mean, I'm always be a Letterman fan just because of old school Letterman. But I think Jimmy's doing a great job. I like Jimmy Kimmel. It's
We're gonna miss Jay Leno.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our show was actually seen on Jay Leno. Did you know that?
I'm sorry, who?
Jay Leno. But they were actually poking fun of us, but Mariah Carey was doing her Winter Wonderland Spectacular, and then they're like, oh, well, this is local TV. So, but we don't care because they're watching us. This is so cool.
Exactly.
No,
I think
all
that's
the
great.
Public access channels, they're watching us.
That's great.
How cool is that?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
That is cool.
But now we
cool.
say bye-bye to Jay.
Yeah, see you, Jay.
It's okay.
But he's a stalwart in the business. Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We were excited about that.
You should be.
Yeah. So you're celebrating 8 years.
Yeah, so the show tour and the showcase.
So how's it feel to be at 8 years?
It feels great, Yeah.
I
think that it keeps me on, my toes. I think that's what the game
What
of
have
life
you learned?
is. Oh, boy, what have I learned? I've learned many things. Many things that you think maybe that you have or you have a good idea of. And it's good actually, think that way because I think it keeps you on your toes. there are things that you always think, oh boy, I thought I've seen it all. You heard like older people growing up, you heard that saying, and as you get older, like, oh wow, I didn't expect to see that one. What have I learned the most of is really getting, actually, to learn about the people when I talk to them, because I'm the last person out.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, all right, well, we're going to hang and talk and at least get that much in. And I learn by these people, and I just listen, and it actually helps me become stronger and to try to keep creating something new for the next show. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so I
definitely.
really learned that from them.
Well,
so it's like a giving
learning
back.
Your audience.
Yeah, true. Right.
Because honestly, you're going to deliver a different message in New York City than you are going to deliver in Niskayuna
Absolutely.
or downtown Schenectady.
Well, that's very true too.
So,
you have to know your audience,
yeah.
and you go in and definitely feel out the room.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much fun because corporate works like that too. Like sometimes you get hired for, this is a law firm. Oh boy, people are like, oh, that's going to be tight. And they're great. You know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah, because you've done shows for bars, clubs, theaters.
Oh yeah, all
receptions.
corporate. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Name a couple. What's been some of the fun ones?
Like what, corporate?
Yeah.
Oh geez, Apple was cool. A lot of them are private, like Apple was cool. That's the biggest I've ever done. You do a bunch of holiday parties and law firms and also everything. Whoever wants one, it's great. I wouldn't do a bridal shower or anything of that nature. No, they're annoying. No, they are, because it's like the worst thing for a comedian when a bachelorette party comes in or something. It's because it's all going south. It just does inherently,
What advice, if someone is aspiring to be a comedian, would you give?
I would say you have to study it. It's show and it's business. It's a business, and if you want to be dedicated to it and give it your all, you can probably have some success. So study who you like. Go to clubs, get involved, hear it, get the rhythm, all the cadence and what's going on. Because I've said this in past interviews that stand-up comedy, and I take it seriously, it's the wild, wild west of literature. I mean, it's the last, free speech. It is. And I don't take that for granted. Do you know?
Yeah.
So I think if you really, what inspires me is being around smarter writers. It's great. The word on the street and see what's going on. And you have to just do it. You can think about it and think about it and think about it. But if you really have an inclination to do it, then you just have to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely believe in that, because I don't think you're ever really, truly ready until you just go at it 100% and say, okay, here I am now.
Oh, sure. And I'll tell you, when you bomb, and you're going to bomb, whoa, boy, is that an abyss.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Woo. But, and then you get right back up and do it. Do you know Benita Zahn from Channel 13? Well, she had taken my workshop, and here's some local stuff, and she's been on a handful of my shows. And she was like, gee, she goes, when you have it bad, she goes, I don't know why I'm doing it, but I'm doing it again, but it's great.
Yeah.
It's been cathartic, healing, and
I remember the first time I was asked to MC an event.
Uh-huh.
I had no clue what I was doing, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do it. I sucked. I know I did. But everyone's like, oh, you did such a great job. And I knew that I really didn't.
They were lying.
They were
right
so lying.
To you? You're lying right to my face. Like, really? Thanks.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay, well, I don't even think my hair held up. I mean, it was just so bad. So.
I bet it was fun.
Yeah, I felt relief afterwards, and then I thought, and then I began to think, how am I going to improve it the next time I'm going to be asked to do something of that nature?
Oh, sure.
So,
well, that's the thing. Like, I have that thing. You can have 100 good shows, and one goes just a little bit to the left. For a week, I'm overthinking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I won't even celebrate the good ones.
But I guess you get down, drop 7, get up 8. So,
yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
So dust yourself off. So, Greg,
yes.
You've got an upcoming show coming up at LT's in Niskayuna on May 17th at 8 o'clock. So how can we get tickets for this event?
You can phone them at 518-374-7455, and they'll take care of you right there. Reserve your seats, and they do a really good job. They got great service over there. I'm excited for the show.
Yeah, tell us who's some of the talent.
I've got my friend John Fish coming up. John's been on The Late Show with David Letterman, Comedy Central, and Last Comic Standing. and also my friend Carmen Lynch, and she's been on The Late Show with David Letterman and Last Comic Standing as well. So yeah, I'm excited.
That
Yeah,
sounds
it'll be
like
good.
so much fun. Yeah. So Greg, where can we learn more about your show?
Oh, my showcase, you can visit my website at www.gregadela.com, and that has all the information right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing the Brouhaha over at LT's on May 17th.
Yes.
So thanks again
Right,
for
thanks
being
so
here.
much. It was my pleasure. Thanks so
Fun.
much. It was fun.
Yep. All right. You're watching Scene TV, and I'm Maya McNulty, your host. Schenectady Cable Entertainment News and Events. And today on our show, I'd like to welcome the producer of the Electric City Couture Fashion Show coming up. Welcome, Corey Aldrich.
Thank you.
And your beautiful model, Jessika Poulin. Nice to have you both here. This is so exciting. I love fashion, so please tell me everything that's happening.
I know you do, and so do we. This year, many of you probably are familiar with the Electric City Couture format. I know you are. You've been there.
Yes, love it.
And each year it gets bigger and more intense. So this year, actually, we juried in the designers a little differently because we have a new format where we're going to have a buy it off the runway opportunity. So there'll be a boutique downstairs at Universal Preservation Hall where the event is. And so we are working with more established designers who have the ability to actually participate in the boutique side. So it's going to be crazy. We'll still have like 60 models, and we've got guys in the show again this year, which is going to be good. We like some diversity there, and it's just going to be the same old amazing, but maybe pumped up a notch or two.
All right, so let's dive in here. Did you start Electric City Couture in Albany because you thought maybe perhaps fashion was missing here?
No, actually, it was very happenstance how I ended up getting involved with Electric City Couture. I showed up one day to a fashion show at Proctor's in Schenectady as part of an art night initiative with Katie Prey. And Jolene Button was putting on a fashion show there, and Katie was a part of it. I was there to just help in the back room with Katie. And it was getting bigger than they expected. And Richard Loveridge came up to me, handed me the headphones, and said, "You're stage managing the show."
Sort of
And
how
so-
I became the host of this show.
Exactly, and those beautiful moments when the universe comes into alignment. I had just been off doing a show in Troy called Trashin', so I kind of had a sense of what I needed to do. And by the second year, Jolene and I were tight partners, and by the third year, we were off to the races, if you'll pardon the pun. You know, scenes were in Saratoga this year. There we go.
Hey, Jessica, tell us about your involvement with the Electric City Couture.
Well, I met Corey about 3 years ago through a designer, as we've learned today. And I modeled in the first show, and since then I've done different variety of events and photo shoots, fashion shows, and charity events.
Uh-huh. Are you studying fashion?
I'm not, actually. I graduated with a marketing degree, but I love fashion, so
Yeah.
I like to participate in it, and he lets me. So.
That's exciting.
Jessica is one of my go-to ladies because I know I can always depend on her to bring a positive energy, and she looks good on camera. So.
What have you liked about doing the Electric City Couture fashion shows?
What I liked most, meeting all the designers. Every year you meet new makeup artists, new hairstylists, new designers, and it's awesome to watch, go to a fitting at a studio and watch them create these masterpieces. And then from one idea comes a show. And so it's really awesome to be part of it.
Yeah, that's
I'm very
great.
honored.
It is like a puzzle being put together. Corey, tell us about some of the highlights of this year's fashion show.
Well, I mentioned the boutique already, which is really big. And this year, normally we do our spring show at Proctor's. And due to some actually very interesting developments, Proctor's has helped us to transition this show so that we're doing our spring show this year at least at Universal Preservation Hall, which is a historic church that's being renovated as an entertainment venue in downtown Saratoga. And I've had my eye on Saratoga for a while to do a show there because it's just such a fashion-forward town. And the response has been absolutely stunning and humbling. I'm actually shocked. The boutiques are buzzing. You can walk in a boutique or a salon like Fusion Salon. They're talking about it. You can just hear everybody talking about the show. It's actually crazy cool.
No doubt. Tell us about some of the designers that are here in the upstate.
Well, we've got We've got a couple of tried and true designers who are coming back that have been in shows, and then we have a couple of new people also. So, of course, we have Kim Vanyo out of Saratoga, who's been a very solid designer for us and probably experienced the most success out of the show and getting purchased by boutiques. A couple of years ago, she started selling out of Circles in Stuyvesant Plaza. We have Christina Collins on the bill again this year. We've got Ecologic out of Troy again, and they're a huge brand that's been around for 20 years. For new ones, we have a hat maker out of Hudson named Bahita Millinery, and that's what Jessica's going to be modeling.
Yeah, is that one of her hats?
No,
Unfortunately not. I
we
wanted to
couldn't.
prepare.
We couldn't put together. To get one. These hats are high level craftsmanship. I mean, people are going to be blown away by these. And interestingly enough, her due date for her baby is that week. So it's going to be, we might have a sideshow at the show. So just be prepared. If I say get out of the way fast, clear the runway. But then we also have a designer out of Valley Plains near Beacon, New York, which is Jane Wilson Marquis. And she has more of a higher couture edge, very high level craftsmanship. And then we asked Gamakachi Black to come back from last year. She's from Queens, and she brings on a hard party. She's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait. So we're really going to put Albany on the map for fashion, huh?
Oh, it's clear. I think what we're trying to do here is not just put on a great entertainment show, but we're trying to drive a regional fashion economy here. Because most people don't realize that they think if you want fashion, you have to go downstate, you know. But Keeler Mercedes signed up with us, so we've got the Mercedes on the bill, just like downstate. We've
That's
got,
so exciting. I saw that Mercedes is going to be one of
I'm getting all distracted. Yeah, I'm so excited. Like Skinny Girl Vodka has come on as a major sponsor. Lifestyles Boutique out of Saratoga. She's been to the show like twice, and Heidi was like, "Oh my God, whatever you need." She's been amazing. And then Sonny and Julie Bonaccio, actually out of Saratoga. Many people know them through their development at Bonaccio Construction, but Julie is the honorary chair of our event because we're doing a fundraising gala for the historic preservation of the church. So
tell us about the fundraising gala, because I definitely want to talk about that. And then I want to ask if you could share how we can get involved. Is it www.electricitycouture? How do we get involved with getting tickets and all that?
Yeah, quickly about the fundraising gala, it's really about they're bringing fashion into Saratoga, and we're forming a partnership to be able to have a venue to do that. The proceeds, or a significant amount of the proceeds from the ticket sales of the show and the sponsorships, are going directly into helping with that historic renovation effort. Yeah. Something near and dear to me because I'm really a big believer in developing our downtown assets. But and what was the other part of the question?
The fundraising, the date, and how to get in touch with it.
The important part. Hello! I get so excited about the show, I forget about, how do you get involved? The best way, I think, to find out information about the show is to go to our website, which is electricitycouture.com. And then there you can find a link to get tickets, which are being sold out of the Proctor's box office. And you can find out all about the designers and the different sponsors and the energy behind the show and the inspiration this year. So electricitycouture.com is the best place to go, yeah.
Great. And some of the proceeds will benefit the Preservation Hall? More
than some. The significant share of the proceeds go to benefit Historic Preservation
Excellent.
Hall.
I wanted to point that out. So
yeah, absolutely.
Now, the purpose of, what was the mission of Electric City Couture? You started 5 years ago. What's your mission, and have you had any challenges along the way?
Yeah.
That's a silly question, huh?
I think the challenges have really been what every organization that's starting, that's trying to participate in the creative economy, and that's cash flow challenges. So really this show has been built significantly on the volunteerism of people who believe in fashion in our region. The mission is about pulling together all the different fashion related organizations in our area, whether it's photographers, models, designers, sewers, marketing people, venues, and trying to help pull them together in giant episodes that showcase the regional talent we have in fashion, and to help build an economic engine behind fashion so that we can start developing jobs. And Electric City Couture has attributable jobs that have been able to be connected with it. through some of our designers who've actually worked through our organization to be able to get people work. So we're super proud about that and look forward to building on that side of the business
you're
a lot more.
revitalizing. First of all, you're making iconic fashion right here in Albany, New York, or Capital Region, because they're from all over. And you've got up and coming, aspiring designers that are going to be part of your showcase. You've got stores that are participating, so they're working as a community.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Absolutely. What was the date of the fashion show?
The date is April 26th. The show is at 8, but we expect it to be sold out. So get your tickets in advance. Right now, the general admittance ticket price is only $15. We built a lot of the cost on how to run this show through the sponsorships so that we could make it available to aspiring people in this business.
Yeah.
And we want to keep it affordable. So it's really about diversity, inclusion, and a unified fashion front that's fabulous.
Now, should we be coming in our best dress? What should we be wearing to your fashion show? Because now I'm a little intimidated. I don't know what I'm going to wear.
I think I heavily encourage people to come fashion forward. This is the one event where no matter what your style is, you can look like you're in place as long as you have style. And I think it's really about expressing your individuality. This is a place where you can't go wrong if you go over the top. And there's a tradition in the show where in the long line before the show, because last year there was a line of like 300 people out the door waiting to get in. I walked through that line, and anybody who looked fabulous some of those people ended up in the front row of the show. Because I try and save seats. This year it's going to be really tough because there's so much interest, but I'm trying to save blocks of seats so that fabulous people can get forwarded to the front of the line, because those are our people.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the colors and trends, or can you not tell us anything the designers are revealing?
You know what? I'm a show producer. I'm not a designer. I'm going to leave that to the experts. I will tell you, there's some cool tribal motifs that I've seen. There's a lot of pragmatism in some of the lines, in that, like Christina Collins, her whole mission is to design clothes for that young professional woman who maybe needs to go directly from work and then out to cocktails and then be able to run errands and be practical. So how do I look fabulous in that context and be taken seriously as a professional?
Yeah.
You know?
Jessica, you know what? You actually probably, as a model, have more expertise than Corey would in some of the outfits. So tell us about what's been fun about wearing different designers' outfits.
What's been fun? Watching them be made, honestly. I said this before, going to the studio and watching just a fabric turn into a skirt or a dress, and having it fit on me, and then being able to model it in the show. I worked with Christina Collins, and he's dead on when he described it's very like young professional going, and then be able to have
So
fun.
do you like more of a tailored look or something a little bit more fun and funky?
Totally depends on the designer. They come up with an idea and they have it their way, and I mean, me, I'm a little hippie, I guess, but
Her style muse is Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. Yeah, but yeah, it totally depends on the designer and what mood they're going for and what they want to convey and what their idea is. So.
Yeah. Any colors that you particularly like that's trending for fall?
I don't know. I've always loved blue. I like the electric blue.
Yeah, I think that's what's trending. So
yeah,
I think so.
Well, look at you. You ladies have your fingers on the pulse of international fashion trends.
Yeah, I think it's like a blue, like royal blue.
Royal blue, yeah.
Yeah, so it's trending for fall. But let's think about, because it's been so cold, and now spring is finally here, and summer, so let's think about some nice colors to wear, some bright, vibrant, bold colors to wear for spring and summer. So tell us a little bit more, Corey, about the awareness of the program, and what's your reach so far? Are you getting people from the city because you have some volunteers from the city? Are you getting them up north? Where are you getting a large mix of your people that are coming to support your fashion show?
I think, as far as the attendees themselves, obviously they're majorly based in this region, which would include, Troy, Schenectady, Saratoga, down into Hudson some, so we kind of have that reach. But we do have a smattering of people that are coming up from the city because they're connected with individuals. Like I know Alyssa, who's my most senior core person on the team. She does a lot of shoots in the city for her day job. fashion shoots, so she knows people down there, and they come up to support us and do the show. And these people are really fashion forward and more in the business, so it's pretty exciting for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. You know, you just briefly touched on buying it off the runway. That's going to be a separate day. Tell us about that.
Actually, thank you for bringing that up.
My pleasure.
I realized I didn't underscore the importance of this particular aspect because it's kind of new, and it really developed in conjunction with my designers. Of course, on the runway, we're looking to sell to those boutiques, to get lines in the boutiques as a distribution network for our designers. But also, a lot of times what we've been finding is because of the cycle of fashion and what is seen and when it's bought and put in the stores, we lose a lot of momentum for our designers because people want to buy something they saw. So we're setting up that boutique that will be downstairs in the first floor of Saratoga Preservation Hall. And after the show that night, people will be able to go down and buy. And then we're actually opening up Sunday the next day to have some hours from 11 till 2, I believe it is, so that people, even if they weren't able to make the show, with no ticket costs, can come in and peruse the shop that we've set up, and there'll be the 6 designers represented there, and they have a chance to be able to participate in supporting our designers that way. So we're super thrilled about that.
Yeah, and this is the first time you're doing that, right? Buying it off the rack?
It is the first time we've done this, and I'm pretty confident it's going to be successful. A couple of our designers, you know, a significant part of their business is by doing very high-end juried clothing shows. Like Ecologic has been doing that for years, and they help kind of drive that. Kathleen's helping us to develop that program, and I think it's going to be one that really plays well with the attendees because you get all excited, you see that coat from Christina, and now you can go down and maybe, if you can't get the fall one for next season, at least you can get some of her stuff from the last season or maybe some of her spring line. So.
Excellent. I'm so excited for that. Can you tell me some of the key players that have helped you to develop and form Electric City Couture? Because you couldn't have possibly done it by yourself, Corey.
No, I can't. And I would say this never would have happened without the strong vision of Jolene Button, my original partner, who helped to form this. And then because of, you know, busyness in her personal life, had to step back. But she really set the pace for what the show is going to be, and it could never have happened without her. Proctor's support, constantly believing in us, giving us opportunities, not just in their house, but outside their house, like when we did the Mohu Festival, which was our breakout show at the Albany Airport. And the new partners that we have at Saratoga Preservation Hall, they've been very instrumental in helping us to facilitate the greater development and reach that we're going to have at this show. And I think people are going to see the level of professionalism, which has been really high, actually go noticeably higher this year.
Yeah. I've actually noticed so much of your progress, and it's so exciting. What's been one of the funnest or the best rewards that you've gotten out of this whole experience?
Oh, geez. It's going to sound corny probably, but, you know, it's really gratifying when you see people able to get work out of doing a show like this. Like there's several.
Nothing corny about getting people work.
I know.
Nothing corny.
I was going to go at lunch into the relationships that I get to develop, but the work part is really, like, I know Brittany Mahana, who's a model who had some pageant work in her past. She did our show. One of the photographers, John Iannelli, really liked her. They started working together as a team. Now she's a core model promoting a fashion line, and she's getting paid work. And that's not a singular story. There's a fair amount of stories like that that are starting to develop around this show, which is really gratifying to me because what drives me and gets me up every day to work on this show for 5 months a year is to know that we're making a difference in helping people to pursue their creative careers. And I just get super excited about that.
Yeah, you should. It's very exciting. And you know what? It's so inspiring to know that it's right here, right in the capital region. You know, I studied fashion in New York City. I went to London, Paris, and Rome and had an opportunity to do that. So that was kind of cool. I owned my dress shop. It was very exciting. Yeah, I have a passion for fashion, I guess. And it's really exciting. And when I see aspiring designers, it reminds me of when I was a kid, and I'd actually, my parents really frowned upon it, and I actually would sneak making sketches, and I thought I'd design these wedding dresses, but they would be more for beach wear, like bikini wedding gowns and stuff like that for cruise ships.
Talk about trendy. That sounds trendy.
That's what I wanted to do. And so But no, that's not what I did. And I have a marketing degree, a bachelor's in marketing. But yeah, so it's awesome to be able to live those dreams out and actually talk to people and actually being from Schenectady my entire life. Well, I was born in South America, but when I came here at 4, I have pretty much been here my entire life. And so see that just come alive in the area that you've grown up is really remarkable, and it's exciting. And I'm excited for anybody that wants to study fashion and or become a model or just start designing. It's very cool. It's a cool thing to do, to be able to use your creative brain.
And I think it's tying in on the serious side of what we're doing. It's really tying in the idea that we bring jobs back into our community, support our community, and give people an opportunity to make living wages in the areas that they have their passion. And I just get, I don't know, I almost get teary about that.
Yeah,
it's just such a great thing.
Absolutely. I get emotional too. It's so crazy. Well, because, you've seen it come to fruition, and it's something that you wanted so badly, and other people embrace it. And when they're doing that, you feel so good about yourself because you've lent a hand and you've actually been given hope. And now that you're creating jobs and stimulating the economy and the businesses as well, it's very important. So it doesn't go unnoticed. And so thank you so much for doing that. I'd like to thank you both for being on Scene TV. It's been remarkable to learn about the fashion coming up. And tell us the date one more time.
It's April 26th in Saratoga at Saratoga Preservation Hall, 8 o'clock. Buy your tickets in advance. It will sell out. It does get every year. Even when we don't have ticket sales, it's overamped so that people can't even get in. Because once that 8 o'clock hits, we shut the doors. You can't come in. We're not interrupting the show. So check it out on electricitycouture.com. Get your tickets, and we'll see you on the runway.
Yeah, it's time to rock the runway. Electric City Couture.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
So
for having
excited.
us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woohoo.
This episode has been sponsored by Ryan's Farmers Market.